Who's right? Who's wrong? You decide. Hash it out with Frank Garay and Brian Stevens.
Hello, my name is Brian Stevens, and this is Frank Garay, and welcome to another edition of Hash It Out. Today we're going to be talking about a survey that the CFPB did along with the FHFA,
Right.
and Richard Corduroy spoke about a couple of the talking points from the survey at a speech at the Brookings Institute. There's a couple points that we want to clarify here.
Okay.
The first one is, he said that 3 out of 4 consumers only apply with one lender or broker, and most consumers only get their information from lenders or brokers who have a stake in the outcome.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I would think, duh, of course, because in a typical situation, you're a home buyer, you're going to work with a real estate agent, he or she's going to connect you to their favorite lender, you're going to trust the lender to begin with because the realtor referred that person over. Plus, the lender's probably been in the business for a long time, knows what he's talking about, builds confidence and trust within that consumer. The consumer feels comfortable. Why is he going to go somewhere else? I wouldn't go anywhere else. I just want to be led to the right thing, have things explained to me, and I'll stick with that guy. Why would a consumer? Of course, 3 out of 4 aren't going to go anywhere else. That's where I would stay as well.
Okay, so you're saying it's a trusted source, and I would agree with
Absolutely.
you that most lenders out there are going to do a good job as they live in the communities that they work.
Right.
Makes sense. However, what we've seen from our recent history is that's not always the case. And if you're going to be putting a half, a third, or a $250,000, the biggest investment, as we always hear, on the line, would it not behoove the consumer to go out there to ensure that they're getting the best deal? After all, they're going to be paying on that for upwards of the next 30 years.
Well, okay, technically, I guess you could say yes. But in this survey, one of the outcomes is that Richard Corduroy said he wants to change the behavior of the consumer.
Okay.
You can't really change the behavior of the consumer along these lines because, yeah, technically a consumer, maybe he should go out and shop a little bit. But I think overall, most of the time, people, if they get comfortable, especially if the lender's a good lender, I'm going to feel real comfortable with the guy. He's going to show me a lot of information. I'm going to say, this sounds good to me, and I'm going to stick it around. Would it behoove them to do it? Maybe. But that's not going to change my behavior just because it would behoove me to do it. It's not going to change my behavior.
Changing behavior, people can quit smoking, they can quit overeating, they can quit cursing, they can quit doing a lot of things. So behavior in small doses, I think, can be changed. Richard Corduroy goes on to say that consumers do not seem to be as careful or as confident in weighing the economic aspect of a mortgage decision, such as what down payment they can afford or the mortgage terms. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, and we pointed this out on the National Real Estate Post, is that people only got so much money. If you got a guy who's got $10,000, that's it. That's going to be his down payment. That's going to be his closing costs. Might need some seller assistance. End of story. So I don't know what he's really talking about here, making these big considerations. I know for a fact, if I'm a loan originator and I got a guy that comes in, he's got $200,000 in the bank, and he wants to buy a house, sure, I might suggest, well, heck, you put 20% down, you don't have any PMI.
Right.
But again, I'd have the conversation with him, showing his options and see what he wants to do. I'm not so sure that he really gets the big picture here.
Well, there are some options that are on the table. You could be looking at an 80-10-10 type of deal,
Yeah.
or an FHA versus a 97, flex conforming type of loan.
Sure.
So there are some options, and if the consumers don't understand that those are made available to them, they might find themselves with a less desirable loan. I think that would be the point that he's making.
Here's my fear with all of this, okay? My fear is this. You even said it. Hey, you think, in certain areas you can change the behavior of people, and, maybe that's true. So my fear with this whole survey and what they're saying here is that the CFPB, with all their power, I fear these guys going, okay, it is now mandatory for everybody to get a mortgage to go to the CFPB website and go through the mortgage training course and complete the mortgage training course and get their mortgage training certificate before, you can get a loan approved or something of that nature to try and quote unquote force change the behavior of the consumer, which really isn't changing their behavior. I'm still going to go with my local guy. Now I've just got to do a stupid online course before I go with my local guy.
Well, the truth of the matter is that most consumers aren't ever going to be aware of these type of surveys that the CFPB is conducting or what they think that consumer should actually be doing.
Right.
Further, I think the survey really shows the disconnect that the CFPB has with both consumer and lender alike.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what they're talking about and what they suggest as solutions has existed for decades. Regardless of your outcome on this type of survey, just understand that the CFPB is watching you.
So with that, have a great day. Thanks for joining us here on Hash It Out. Be sure to share this and forward along to any other loan officers out there. Leave your comments down below and catch us at thenationalrealestatepost.com.
Bye.
Hash It Out airs every Thursday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time and can be viewed on MortgageNewsNetwork.com.
Hello, this is David Koster for the Mortgage News Network. Today, nearly 90 million people will go online and watch a video. This explains why our weekly online shows have been such a hit. Custom-produced videos are simply the most powerful way of telling a business story. National Mortgage Professional Magazine gave rise to Mortgage News Network. Our editors and producers have been telling the stories of this industry for decades. To learn more about sponsorship opportunities that are available, and to learn about the video services we provide, request a media kit. You can do so by sending an email to info@mortgagenewsnetwork.com or pick up the phone and call Beverly Bolnick at area code 516-409-5555, extension 4. And remember, while others cover the world, we cover yours.
This is Mortgage News Network.